today's spooky review, we're going to be having a look at the Spinmaster Dr. Dreadful Zombies Zombie Lab. You can make 80 plus creepy treats, including bubbling brains, zombie barf, that sounds delicious, and slurp slimy bugs. Contains 2 brain mixes, 2 brain activator mix, 1 bug mix, 1 skin mix, 1 barf mix part 1, and 2 barf mix part 2. Of course, down below, there's Dr. Dreadful. There's a choking hazard, small parts not for children under 3 years of age. There's the back of the package showing you some health and, of course, ingredients and nutritional facts. Not that you'll get much nutrition from eating zombie guts and debris and goo. You can inject a tasty spider, eat fruity zombie flesh, and make delicious zombie brains. Sounds good, doesn't it? Includes everything that you need. And down below, you can head over to www.spinmaster.com. There, in a nutshell, is your packaging. And here's the terrifying contents inside the Dr. Dreadful Zombie Lab. Of course, all of this you have to put together, so you get yourself a brain beaker. You get the front half and the back half of the head, the zombie head, which has to be assembled, of course. You get the lower jaw. You get some gear posts that will go to the bottom of the zombie head. You get yourself the gear base, a measuring cup, a syringe, a spoon, a monocle mold, not to mention a worm mold, that's gross, and of course you get a whole bunch of different candy, all in individual bags here. Let's first start by putting everything together here. So we're going to take the gear posts, and those are going to just slot themselves, making sure, of course, you got the right side, which I did not. Get that on one side of the slot, fit that into place. And we do that on the other side. Again, see that little notch here, how it curves? That's going to fit into the front. Slide that into place, and we got our base ready. The next thing we have to do is take the zombie jaw, and that has to get attached. See the little slots underneath here? Those get attached by fitting them into the slots of the gears. Now, you may find it easier to move the jaw out of the way, just so you can actually see what you're doing. If you do have problems getting this all installed, I'm sure a parent will be happy to help build the zombie lab that you can build and make gruesome treats that you can pay them back and thank them for all their help. So just get those attached into the side posts, and then we can move to the next step. Next, take the front half of the zombie head and the back half of the zombie head, and you will fit those together. See, there's a little hole on the bottom sections here, and then these little tabs. Line up the holes to the little pegs on the bottom of the front half. There we go. And then you'll hear a nice snap as you get everything together. To install the zombie head to the jaw, these little slots right here will fit into the slots on the back. It's a little easier actually to see it from the inside. And you can see right there, those little slots have now fit into place. And you just bring the head down, and you've got the zombie mouth ready. Go ahead then and take the screw valve and just want to screw that into place. Let me just show you what's happening here. This slides in, and then you twist it. We'll lock it into place. And you can go ahead and fit it to the top of the zombie head. And as you can see, when you push it down, the mouth will open and close. Then we can go ahead and just add some finishing touches, such as the worm mold. Ew, worm mold. That's going to just line up and fit into his head like so. Take the monocle, which will have a little spider mold inside, and that fits just into the eyeball like so. And I find actually this is the hardest part, because the monocle, you have to line it up just right to get it to sit in place. In fact, you have to push really far in. Let me just show you what's happened here. Take it right out. there is a little tab here and a tab here. So when you put in the monocle, you have to hear that little click. I say little, that's a considerably loud click, but now the monocle won't go anywhere. And you can still open it and close it if you want to make your spider molds. In addition to the things that came included inside the box, some of the other things I've also brought for this review is a dish to hold water. I brought myself just a bottle of water, because we need water for making the candy, a spoon. And I've also got myself a pair of scissors that I can open up the individual packs of candy. Speaking of candy, let's start making ourselves some gross zombie candy. The one I'm actually really excited about trying is the brain mix. The brain mix also, according to the instructions, has indicated the contents may spill. So I've gone ahead and taken some precautions to line the backdrop here with just a blue plastic, actually a blue recycling bag, just enough so that if something spills out, I'm not going to get a mess everywhere and inadvertently destroy everything. So some precautions have been made. Let's make some brains. For this, we're going to be making use of the brain mix and the brain activator mix. Let's go ahead and cut open the first bag using my scissors. I probably will need a bigger... let's just open it all the way. Why not? Open this up. And we are going to spoon out, with use of spoon that's been provided, we are going to scoop out 4 scoops of, or actually 2 scoops of brain mix. So we're going to take 1 scoop, shake it all off. You want to make sure you get a nice, this doesn't have to be a leveled size, but get 2 scoops of brain mix and dump that into the top portion of his brain. That's 2. And then we're going to go ahead and use the brain activator mix. So taking the scissors, cutting the bag open. It occurs to me as I'm cutting the bag that I think I need to get myself some sharper scissors. It looks about the same. I see a few black specks in here. I don't think I should be concerned, hopefully. And we're going to go ahead, and I know we added 2 scoops of brain mix, but in this instance we're going to go ahead and add 3 scoops of brain activator mix. And again, we're just going to add that to the top brain. I am certain this is going to leave a mess. This is going to go everywhere, but I persevere. I keep going. I'm going to persevere, I hope. I'm going to add those 3 scoops of brain activator mix. Now we can go ahead and add water. As I'm about to add my water, it so occurs to me that I should probably have done this as the last candy, as it's probably going to go everywhere, so I'm probably going to have to clean up in between candy makes. The next step we're going to do is we're going to add 15 units of water. Now you may ask yourself, 15 units of water, how am I supposed to know what 15 units of water? Oh, it's actually notched right there, 15 units of water. Room temperature water would suffice in this instance. There's 15, almost exact, there's 15 units of water. Now, the moment we add 15 units of water and start stirring, there's going to be a chemical effect. I'm no scientist, but ultimately the brains will grow, eat, and enjoy. That's the steps then we have to add, or that's the steps we're going to follow. But first things first, let's go ahead and add the water. We shall add water to the top of the brain and immediately start stirring. Stir, stir, stir. And hopefully we'll see some brains developing in the process. So we're going to stir it. Oh, and right away, without even adding the full contents, you can see the brains are already frothing up. This is probably where the mess will occur, and yes, I haven't added all the water yet. You can already see how it's starting to foam up and froth up. It's getting this weird consistency, which I can only describe as melted ice cream. If you've ever had melted ice cream, it's almost got that same sort of texturing. And I guess those little black specks that I was concerned about ultimately end up breaking up and creating this very bright, vibrant red. Yes, here's a close-up of the brain candy. It's oozing everywhere. Oh, it's getting all over the place. I'm glad I used that plastic, because if not, my poor backdrop would have been destroyed. But we're going to still continue to mix, mix, mix. Yes, I'm probably going to have to clean up as we go along. Going to mix it up. I'm actually going to give this a little bit of try as it's oozing out. Again, just to kind of show you guys, what would you describe that as? It's almost, again, the consistency of if you had ice cream in your bowl for a long period of time and it has started to melt. The candy continues to thicken up. So if I had added more water, there's more of the red that's starting to show up here. Continue to stir, 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 getting everywhere. But we're going to go ahead and try a little bit of this. It's getting more redder the more I mix it together. The two candies are mixing together. All right, let's give this a try. The brain candy. Here we go. Gonna get some paper towels afterwards. Let's give it a try. That's really interesting. It tastes almost like vanilla ice cream if you mixed it with like candy Pop Rocks. As I mix a little bit more, like strawberry Pop Rocks mixed with vanilla ice cream that's melted. That's about the best way I can describe this. Mix it up a little bit more. Give it another try. There it is right there. There's a close-up look at the oozing brain candy. We can try it again. Yeah, the best way I would describe that, it tastes like vanilla ice cream that's melted. And you've got like strawberry little bits of almost popping candy, very fizzy candy inside of that. It's strange, and yet still actually pretty delicious. The next one we're going to try is the bug mix. This will, of course, make use of the mold of the worm and the ooey gooey spider. So let's once again grab these scissors, and we'll cut the package open. There we go. The coloring is a little bit peach, a little bit more peach colored than the brain mixed. And for this, we're going to use some warm water, and we're going to use the bug mix here. Right off the bat, too, I can smell a very strong scent of cherry. Make sure you also have your syringe ready. You're going to need to make use of this real fast. I'm going to pull the syringe out, get that all prepped and ready to go. So we're going to bring in some water, and of course we're going to have our measuring cup here. What we are going to use is, where is the spoon? Where is the spoon? Where did I leave the, oh, the spoon's right in front of me. So dumb. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna grab 2 scoops of bug mix. And this is gonna go right into the container here. Doesn't have to be exact, I suppose, but you can go ahead and grab 2 scoops. I hear 2 scoops, I think Raisin Bran, but it's not Raisin Bran, we're making bugs. So you can put this away. Now you might want to get some clips, maybe get like a Ziploc bag or something, or you might not have even gone the route of cutting this completely open like this guy did. For the next steps, this is something you're going to want to do fast. I don't want to rush, I don't want to worry you guys, but you're going to take 3 scoops using the same scoop. I didn't really rinse it off, but take 3 scoops of warm water, and I've actually just got kind of room temperature water, so I'm hoping it's going to work just as well. And I'm going to immediately add 3 scoops of water to my already added 2 scoops of candy mix. And immediately doing this, you can add your 3 scoops of water. And then you're immediately going to stir. Stir, 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 stir. And then we're going to grab the nozzle. Make sure your finger's underneath the nozzle, just to prevent it from spilling. And the idea is you need to fill your candy before the candy sets, because this candy is going to set real fast. So see the little holes here in the eyeball and the worm? I'm going to place the syringe into that. You just wedge it in there. There we go. And we're going to fill the candy chamber with the candy. And then we're going to do the same with the worm. If you have a little extra, that's okay. Nobody's perfect when it comes to making candy, especially zombie candy. And we're going to let those sit. Okay, so you're supposed to have these set in the fridge for about 10 minutes. I've sort of cheated. I pulled them out in about 5-6 minutes. Couple that with the fact that I didn't use hot water. I don't know how well these molds are going to turn out. Well, not so much. Let's get an individual look here. You can see it's starting this set. I probably could have afforded to use it, to have it sit in the fridge for a little bit longer than 6 minutes. Also, using room temperature water clearly did not work. I had to use warmer water. I am curious though. I'm just going to try a little bit here. It's kind of like a cherry gummy if the gummy was a little softer in texture. Let's open up the worm as well. Again, it's been in the fridge not nearly as long as it should have been. And we'll just do a little poke. All right, it's starting to set up a little bit. Yeah, I could probably have used to have that sit in the fridge just a little bit longer than about 6 minutes that I did. As a testament though, the candy is actually quite delicious. I like this candy a lot more than I like the brain candy. It's got a very nice cherry flavor. It actually reminds me of like the old cherry, I think it was like cherry bonkers or cherry candies that they had back in the 80s. That's actually good candy. Butterfingers here though should have let it sit in the fridge just a little bit longer. Okay, so having somewhat moderate success with the brain candy, and that being kind of a taste of vanilla ice cream with a little bit of the strawberry, and then the mold candy, because of my own fault, didn't really turn out as good. But the candy, to be fair, actually was quite good. Let's go ahead and try the barf candy. Now for this, we're going to use not only barf mix 1, I can't believe I'm saying this, and barf mix 2. Part 1 and part 2. First thing we're going to do is use the cup measurement, and we need to measure it up to 90. 90, I think 90 units, which is right there. I'm going to fill that up with water. This actually has a lot more water than the 2 other candies that we've tried. Try to get it as best you can to. I guess that is about, that's a little over 90. Now we can go ahead and cut open the candy. So first we'll cut open barf candy part 1. Never thought I would ever say that. And we're going to grab the spoon, which I really haven't completely cleaned off, but we're going to grab a spoon and we're going to add 3 level scoops of barf mix part 1. You can see like the coloring here, there's a couple of specks of blue in there. And the instructions indicate that we got to add 3 level scoops of barf mix part 1 and quickly stir before lumps happen. So we got to quickly add that to our water, 2 and 3, and then we're going to quickly stir, so that we don't make lumps. And you can see right away it's actually turning a very nice shade of blue. I like that. Once the candy is mixed up, I've gone ahead and just filled the brain, the actual brain top of the zombie head, and we can just set it aside. Now, we're going to go ahead and pull out the barf mix part 2. I'm going to get that ready. For the second half of this barf equation, I'm going to take the water and we're going to fill it up to the 40 mark. Just like that. Then we can go ahead and go back to barf mix part 2. Get that cut open. Yes, I'm definitely going to have to get myself, invest in some sharper scissors. Oh, look at the color of this candy. Oh, I like the color of that. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab 4 level scoops. First scoop. Second. The third. And the fourth. And like the first barf mix, we're going to stir. And you're basically going to just keep stirring until all the powder has dissolved here. Once you've stirred up everything, and you can see, if I can hopefully show you in the camera here, that the majority of the powder has already dissolved. It's kind of a clearer liquid than it was before. Then we can go ahead and I just want to also correct myself on my previous construction of this. I had the skull facing the wrong way. The opening here has to go into the front. I'm gonna go ahead and slide the cup very carefully underneath here. And then we're gonna go ahead and take the brain. Now, if you remember, the brain had the barf mix part 1. What we're then gonna do, according to the instructions, is we're gonna take the brain mix and we're gonna shake the brain for 5 seconds. And try your best through doing that. You're not making, oh, it's kind of going everywhere. Shake, shake, shake for 5 seconds. And that's about 5 seconds. Then we can go ahead and hopefully everything is lined up. I am so glad I put plastic film everywhere here. We're gonna dump the brain and we're gonna push it down and it's gonna fill up. It's still going. Oh, I hope it stops. Okay, it stopped. And the part A, or part 1 of the barf candy, I don't know if you saw it, dumped through the brain. It says you're supposed to actually push down the brain to open up the jaw, but the candy falls perfectly fine, as you saw, on its own without going all the way through. And let's have a look at this delicious treat. Oh, that looks lovely. Oh, that looks delicious. Now, I don't think I'm supposed to stir it. No, I don't think I'm supposed to stir it. I think I'm just supposed to drink it. Down below is part 2. The part 1 barf is on the top there. That does kind of look like barf. It looks like something you would get at a lab. Or correct myself on that. It looks like something that you would donate to a lab if you need medical attention. You can see the top part is very ooey gooey. The bottom half looks kind of like urine. Okay, well, you know, it's Halloween. Let's give this a try. The zombie barf. Oh, that looks tantalizing. Okay, here we go. Let's give it a try. Oh. I gotta say, it's not gross. It tastes like blue raspberry, but the problem is it's the texture. The texture, not that I would know what to describe, that I would know what this is, but it's, if you blew your nose into a glass and drank it, oh, somebody has just thrown up. That would be the texture that I would describe this as. It's kind of foamy, slimy goo on top of liquid, and you can kind of see how it's just settled itself on top of it. It is extremely disgusting, but I suppose that would be what kids would love to do, especially at Halloween time. What kid would not love to make zombie barf and drink it in front of their parents? Or maybe just give it to their parents. Here, Mom, here, Dad, I've made this for you. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's zombie barf. Yeah, it's flavor-wise, it's not terrible, but my goodness, it looks absolutely disgusting. And the texture of it, if you're not a texture sort of guy, the texture will completely throw you off. It will make you, oh, I don't know if I would want to take another sip of this. The texture is just grossing me right out. Well, I learned a few things about myself today, one of which, don't rush gummy candy while it's in the fridge. If it says 10 minutes, go by the 10-minute mark. Don't take it out 5 minutes, 6 minutes after you put it in thinking it's going to be set. Clearly it wasn't. The other thing I've learned very quickly is apparently I don't like the flavor or the texture of zombie barf. God, that looks gross. Today's spookerific review, made of a mess everywhere as well. Today we're having a look at the Spinmaster Dr. Dreadful Zombies Zombie Lab. It said 80 plus creepy treats. The only ones I really did try was the brains, the bubbling brains, the zombie barf, and the slimy bugs. I think my favorite probably from the 3, if I actually had given enough time to set, would probably have been the slimy bugs. My least favorite, I'm sure as I don't have to indicate, was the zombie barf. Lesson learned, don't drink zombie barf. It's disgusting. Once again, today we're looking at the Dr. Dreadful Zombies Zombie Lab as we get to the very end of Spottober. So sad. Lone tear. Of course, we now have to wait the full year for more spookerific reviews. I know this year we did a lot more than normal, and that's probably why. I don't even know when this is getting uploaded, but I'm sure it's probably past Halloween. But at any rate, guys, I certainly hope you guys have had a safe and happy Halloween for 2017. Be sure you are part of this channel for next year, of course, as we have and celebrate 2018's spooky spots. I'm gonna have to make sure I get some really cool spookerific stuff for next year. In the meantime, guys, if you also haven't had a chance to subscribe to this channel, make sure you hit that little subscribe button down below. Of course, more videos, maybe not as gross videos as this one here, but certainly more videos will be coming to this channel, so stay tuned for those. As always, guys, thanks for watching, as you always do. I'll see you next time.